welcome to AUC News. This is Nuran Salim. A gunman opened fire at an Alabama hospital on Thursday, killing one man and injuring another who's currently in a stable condition. When the police has arrived at the hospital, the gunman had killed himself too. The relationship of the gunman to the victims is still unclear.
The status on the victims. One victim is in stable condition. Unfortunately, I have to report the second victim did not survive and was pronounced deceased during surgery. The investigators are continuing their investigation and have a lot of information to sort through and evidence so we can try and determine what led to this tragic incident tonight.
Former Russian double agent Sergei Skripal and his 33-year-old daughter were found poisoned on March 4th in Salisbury, Britain. British officials have accused the Russian government of the agent's death. Russian Foreign Minister spokeswoman Maria Zakharova commented on the suspicion around the claims.
Чрезвычайное происшествие с использованием, задействованием или применением химических отравляющих веществ есть соответствующий правовой механизм.
Investigations in the agent's death are still ongoing while the tension between both parties is rising. Dozens of taxi drivers in Hong Kong gathered on Thursday to protest and complain about their business decline since Uber launched in Hong Kong in 2014. Members of a taxi drivers alliance protested outside the central government headquarters, calling on authorities to ban the ride-sharing service, shouting, "Down with Uber." Even though Uber is a legal company in Hong Kong, taxi drivers claim that they are operating as unlicensed cabs.
To me, it's actually quite an unfair competition between a taxi driver and an Uber, because taxi driver, talk about their taxi license is 6 to 7 million Hong Kong, plus the insurance and the maintenance of that vehicle. So when you're renting it, you're actually paying for all that as well. But for the Uber, it's actually using their own car, and however, Uber is still charging them 25% commission, which is a lot. But anyway, having said that, they're starting on a unfair at the starting point.
Britain and the world mourned the legendary scientist Stephen Hawking last Wednesday. Hawking, who was seen as an inspiration, was affiliated with the University of Cambridge, which after his death lowered its flags at half-mast in expression of condolence. World leaders and officials mourned for Hawking publicly. British Prime Minister Theresa May expressed her sorrow and that of the nation on social media. Stephen will remain an inspiration for his achievements and victories will always stay with us. Last Wednesday, a Brazilian city council member was assassinated along with her driver in Rio de Janeiro. Marielle Franco was an expert on police violence, calling out law enforcement personnel upon their use of excessive violence in searching homes related to gang members. Two police officials told the Associated Press that two men in a car fired 9 shots into the vehicle carrying the 38-year-old Franco and her driver in a totally unprecedented attack.
Esse tipo de receio. Portanto, nós não temos conhecimento de nenhum tipo de ameaça que ela tenha sofrido e cabe agora à polícia poder entender como é que algo desse tipo acontece sem que nem mesmo uma ameaça tenha se tornado clara e evidente nessa situação.
Franco was in her first term at the office and her party called on to a march on Friday to protest violence in Rio. The main Taliban group at Pakistan claimed responsibility for the explosion that took place on Wednesday near the eastern city of Lahore and said it was a suicide attack. The explosion caused the death of 5 policemen and 4 bystanders and 27 wounds. The explosion took place after the evening prayers in the street where several Muslims make purchases nearby. The wounded were mostly police officers and members of the Islamic group known as Tablighi Jamaat. The police chief stated that it was a suicide attack while the investigators were working to determine whether the bomb was planted near the checkpoint. The checkpoint is located near a religious group's main congregation place in Rawalpindi, the capital of Punjab province. Lahore is witnessing many bombs and suicide attacks in recent years, killing several victims. US President Donald Trump made a stop at the Boeing company on Tuesday where he got to inspect fighter jets. It was said that the reason behind the tour was a possible deal to be made by the president. The potential deal is to buy 24 new F-8 fighter jets. The company's executives took the president on a tour around the company where he got the chance to view its products.
And I keep telling these countries, no, you have to buy American. I want you to buy American. You know, we help people, we help countries, we give aid to countries. I say, where do you buy your equipment? Oh, we buy from other countries. I said, what about buying from the United States? Well, we haven't been doing that. Now they do it. So we want them to buy.
Bangladesh Foreign Minister Abdul Hassan Mahmood Ali discussed several humanitarian and economical talks with Thai Prime Minister Prayuth Chan-o-cha on Thursday. Mr. Ali and Mr. Chan-o-cha have agreed up increasing the trade value to $2 billion in the coming 3 years. Chan-o-cha also donated $40,000 through the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees Office in Thailand for the Rohingya crisis. He also donated another $100,000 for the affected person in the Rakhine state in Cox's Bazar. Chan-o-cha termed Bangladesh as a gateway and connectivity hub between South Asia and Southeast Asia. He also proposed the Bangladesh's Look East policy and Thailand's Look West policy may be synchronized to create new trade and economic connectivity corridors. AUC celebrated its 31st International Day on Tuesday, showcasing different cultures, displaying traditional food and handicrafts. AUC community joined the International Day, where they had the opportunity to listen to different stories and buy costumes and handmade crafts. AUC Plaza floor was crowded with people from different cultural backgrounds and had the opportunity to explore the customs and traditions of each other.
So here we are at the AUC New Cairo New Campus Plaza, where 3 days ago there happened the International Day, the 31st International Day, under the theme of AUC Time Machine. Several countries were represented. There were Arab countries, there were non-Arab countries as well, and the AUC president, Francis Richard Yoni, was present. On my behalf, I helped with the Lebanon booth, since I am from Lebanon, and it was great to see all the international students and the Egyptians celebrating the internationality of AUC and how AUC is Egypt's global university. On my behalf, again, I decided to represent an imaginary country that believes in no borders and no countries and no religions and no possessions. And its national anthem was John Lennon's Imagine. So this was a new initiative that happens for the first time at AUC's International Day. It was very much welcomed by the AUC president and the visitors. Also, there was the AUC neighborhood initiative.
The event had alumni, students, faculty, and staff to celebrate AUC's International Day. Participants had the opportunity to participate and win prizes, engage in fun activities, and buy handicrafts. That's all for today. Goodbye, and thank you for watching.